Hi, it's Matchmaker Laurie and Matchmaker Kim Solomon, and we both are on Saw You at Sinai as matchmakers. And I have a private business called SeattleShotgun.com. And we're here today to talk about oversharing. Oversharing, what's oversharing on a date? So the first thing that comes to mind to me is divorced people. What do they do on a date? A lot of times we'll have divorced people and the the gal maybe will ask the guy, so tell me about your divorce on the first date. No, I learned this from a guy I once set up. He had a line. He said, why would I want to talk about a divorce when I have a beautiful young woman sitting in front of me? I want to get to know you. And the truth is, you don't have to share your divorce. You just have connection with that person. So once you get to the third or fourth date, that's the time to possibly start sharing. And you don't have to share everything right away. You can share as it feels right to you, but you have to make the connection with the other person before you share those personal things. Kim, do you have anything that you want to comment about that?
Yeah, I do. I want to add, I understand where it's coming from. I think this is actually a very common thing where people kind of overshare and give a lot of information very quickly. And I know where it's coming from. It's coming for multiple reasons. One is people are trying to be efficient. So they're trying to just kind of let that person get to know them very quickly so that if they're not interested once they hear everything, they can just move on. They don't want to waste time, that's one reason. Another reason is because when people are dating, they have like 2 hours to talk about anything. They want to talk about what's on their heart, deeper things, just to kind of have a listening ear and kind of make it a therapeutic date, so to speak. Also, I think people deep down, they have such a need to feel accepted that they kind of go into full disclosure mode and just share everything that's on their mind because they want to feel accepted and validated. And I hear that and I get that. Um, on the other hand, if you share much more and very quickly and more quickly than that other person is used to hearing, it might startle them and scare them if they're not used to normally a person sharing that much with them. So here's what I would say. You can mirror the other person. If the other person is sharing a lot about their own life, then you can realize that that person is okay taking it to the next level and mirror them back. But be careful if you're the one initiating that topic of moving too deeply. I agree with you, Laurie, that you should wait a few dates. The first few dates, as people say, is talk about things you would talk to someone at a Shabbos table about. Make light, friendly conversation just to see if you enjoy speaking to the other person, if things flow. Laurie, anything you want to add?
I do. You reminded me of something. I had a private client who was a Kohen, and he unfortunately had been married 3 times. So every time I tried to set him up, I wanted full disclosure, and I told him why he had been married 3 times and what the story was. And I wanted them to understand before they got into it. So, he's only dating either widows or women who have never been married before. And so at the age of 54, he's dating these women in their 40s who have never been married before, generally, and they just could not accept the story. So another shotgun set him up with a gal, and he didn't, for some reason, didn't have on his, the information was not disclosed how many times he had been married. So he finally told her on maybe the fourth date, maybe the fifth date, and she got really upset. But you know what? She already liked him by then. And she was open to listening why he had been married 3 times and they're still going out 2 months later. So this is a case of building a connection before you share hard topics, trauma in your past, your divorce. So, let somebody get to know you before you start sharing everything.
Lori, just
Okay.
something to add. I'm so glad you brought that up. It's a very important topic, just in general, for everybody about when do they disclose something that's more private? Because if it's a bit tricky because if you disclose it too soon, then the person might not have been able to get to know you, to see you, and kind of everything about you to kind of weigh out the pros and cons. On the other hand, if you wait too late, then you may, the person, it may have been a complete deal breaker for them. And then you spent all these dates sharing something that was a complete deal breaker, for waiting to share something that was a deal breaker. So I remember hearing that a good guideline, and people should ask rabbis, but a good guideline is wait as long as possible until, if you didn't share it sooner, the person would feel that they were duped. So, if you feel that if you wait until date 5 and that person's going to feel duped that you waited so long to share it, that means you waited too long to share it. So everyone's a little different. So I think it's a good idea to ask advice from rabbis and mentors, but that's the general advice: is, would the person feel upset that you didn't share it sooner? Do you want to add anything to that, Laurie?
I think you never know when the right time is. So, you kind of have to, yes, ask your rabbi if you have a medical condition to share. When is the right time to do that? And like the case with my guy, of course, the woman did get upset. I think she would have gotten upset on the fourth date, the fifth date, or the sixth date. But you know what? By then, she really appreciated him as a person, and they're probably going to get married. So there is a case for withholding information and not oversharing right away if you can connect with the person that's really special to you. So I'd say that's it, Kim. Okay, bye.